I'm Nick Hughes, and this is Founders Live Conversations.
Hey everyone, welcome to Founders Live Conversations. I am Nick Hughes. I am the CEO and founder of Founders Live. And today we have a special guest, another one of our Founders Live Primetime finalists from all of our competitions this year. I am joined by Irene Velasco. She is from Guadalajara, Mexico. Welcome, Irene.
Thank you, Nick. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
It is so good to have you here. And, thank you for joining us. We are in a process of talking with our finalists for the Founders Live Primetime events. And I'm so excited to talk to you about that. But before we even get into that,
Yes.
Just introduce yourself and tell us who you are and where you're from.
Yes, I'm Irene Velasco. I'm CEO and founder of helKi, where we create ELI, an accompaniment for parents and caregivers. And we are so happy to be here because this is our first time in this perfect final. And in my background, I'm a computer engineer. I have been done some research about early childhood development. I have an executive MBA and also a certification in the data science about early childhood development, proven in the respect upbringing with the University of San Diego. And also, I am passionate about marathons. I'm passionate about early childhood development and human development and speakers and about the speakers. And I don't know what else to say.
That's great. It's so good to meet you. And, for everyone watching and listening, Irene and I have never met. So this is a really great opportunity to get to know you as a person and as a founder. And then also as one of our finalists for Founders Live Primetime. We'll talk about that a little later in the conversation. But you have now had a few experiences pitching at Founders Live. And we are just actually wanting to talk about, your experience pitching at Founders Live. So tell us about that. You pitched at a Guadalajara event as well as Founders Live Primetime Latin America. What was your experience doing that?
Oh, what's great. Let me tell you that I was doing the pitch when in the time of COVID, then I didn't have the opportunity to do it in live. Or on site. We were doing it by this kind of platforms that was great because even though if the the adrenaline and all the feeling that we feel when we are with people, also I could feel that feeling by these platforms, digital platforms, and also was very, very, very good because I learn many things about how to do these kind of events, and I use these kind of these tools and how you are doing it for Founders Live, and I use it for my own company. That is a very good good point that I'm using right now. And also we have the opportunity to go to more people because we have a link to vote for ourselves. Then many people were watching the event at the same time. It is we can go. We have a lot of family going to the event online. It is more easier to reach more people, and everybody was watching, family, friends from around the globe. It was very nice. And also, even though if many people can feel that you don't feel nervous, it is, I don't know why I feel very nervous when we are in a digital platforms, maybe because we don't see the people, we don't have the eye contact, but it's pretty good because this is a new reality, the COVID and everything is in this way. Then that was one of my first situations facing pitching in the digital platforms. But it was amazing. And now I'm using the same kind of work or the same kind of platforms using in my own company and in my entrepreneurship in helKi. And that was great, a very good learning.
Yeah, you mentioned a few things, which is the dynamic now that, because of COVID and we can't be in person, You know, Founders Live events were traditionally in person. Now we have digital and virtual events, which are going really well. But you just mentioned something really interesting, which I want to get your perspective on. Obviously, now you've participated a few times, you've done well. What do you think has helped you in terms of pitching? Maybe a couple tips that you've learned, especially now that we're in front of the camera.
Yes.
What do you think is helping you actually deliver a quality pitch, especially in the virtual experience, because it's not easy?
No, it is not. Thanks for the question, because I have learned a lot. We have to change a lot of things. One of them is that we usually, in the normal way, we make contact, we add contact with the people in the public, and now we have to make contact with the camera, you know, to feel that we are talking to them. Then that is different, because you are not watching anything, only a point. At the beginning was a little weird. Now it's more common for me because I have been practicing, but it's not easy at the beginning. And also because you are not watching the reactions. When you are speaking, you see the reaction of people, if they are nodding, if they are surprising. And if you say something, you can feel that they are your customers, because they feel that pain that you are trying to make them feel, you know. And now it's very hard because you are talking to yourself. You only can see yourself, and you don't have that 2 ways of information. But we have to control ourselves and our mind. For me, it's still difficult, but I try it every time that I pitch online.
It's tough. I mean, yeah, you just mentioned it. And that's a thing that I, and maybe a lot of people that are listening and watching are probably struggling with as well, is there is none of that, you know, feedback, you know, the natural human feedback. And it's a weird thing. But hey, what has happened this year is clearly affecting not just now, but in the future. And so it's really important that as an entrepreneur, a founder of your own company, you must be able to figure out how to deliver a quality message and pitch in front of a camera, whether that's one-on-one or in front of hundreds or thousands of people that might be watching a Founders Live event. It's important to learn that. So it seems like you're becoming more comfortable, even though you might be nervous, maybe not, but you're getting comfortable, it seems like.
Yes, of course. Yes, at the beginning it was a little hard, but now it's much more comfortable.
Yeah. Well, going on, I have a question around your curiosity of entrepreneurship, or why you really started this entrepreneurial process. What attracted you to creating your own company?
And I love that question, because, you know, I used to be an entrepreneur. That is an entrepreneur that is working with bigger new ideas or innovative ideas inside of a company. Okay, it is not your entrepreneurship, it is not your money that you are dealing with, but this is the innovation side, and this is how you are going to make the boat float. Then you have to do many things to make it happen. And also because many people can not believe in your ideas, or it's hard to prove that innovative ideas are going to work, the same like in any entrepreneurship. Then I was working with us as an entrepreneur, and I was very successful. I can tell you I did 3 entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs, and not all of them were successful. I have 3. One of them was a big mistake, but we have to learn about it, you know. And that experience empowered me to realize that I can do everything that I dream. I have all inside of me to make it true. I have a lot of talents, and that talents I can use it for good. Then I start to working in my purpose. Then I put all the information together, like Steve Jobs said, join the dots. And also it was my purpose, my talents, my all my experience. And I put it together, and I said, okay, I'm ready to do it by myself. I'm ready to do something for for me, for the world, because my entrepreneurship is a social entrepreneurship. That is a entrepreneurship that is also going good in the society. And we say that we transform society. Then was very good, the question, because it was not easy, was a lot of time to think about it, to feel empowered and to take the decision and to be ready, because I was saving money for that dream. And that's why I'm here.
I love that. What you just mentioned, a few really key things. And, one of them that stood out to me was you mentioned Steve Jobs and, connecting the dots. And I thought that was just the concept of, what I remember him saying was sometimes it only makes sense. The dots connect looking backwards on, it's almost like it to the outside world, someone viewing your life, it might look like random decisions and choices, and you're doing this and this and this. And only does it make sense looking backwards after it happened. Oh, well, she did this and she did that and she did this, and now there's success there. But I think the key that he was actually saying is internally we know actually when you listen as deep as possible in yourself, the right decision and the path you want to take, and you connect those dots, and then the outside world, only then they look around and say, oh, that's why she's doing that. Right. So I think that you're on the right path, it seems like.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also I have a great team that they are giving me feedback all the time, and also very good customers that they are giving me feedback. Then all the things that are around me, it is not about me, it is not about myself, it is about what we are trying to achieve, and that is it's easier when everybody's following that dream, that purpose.
Yeah. Well, let's go into that. So you have created helKi and created Ellie, a virtual AI assistant for working parents. That is a really interesting lead in. So tell us a little bit more. And I like to ask the question, starting with, what problem did you see in the world that you wanted to solve?
Yes, I will tell you that I was the first user. When I started to be the caregiver of my nephews, I was implementing, I can say it, or using the practices that the caregivers provide with me when I was children. But many of them were good, and many of them weren't good, as now I can understand. And when I was applying that knowledge, I was not proud of myself, because I said to myself, I should do it better, but I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't know how to which people ask for help. And at that time, because I'm engineer, then I didn't have around my support network in my family or friends, people who knows about the early childhood development. Then I start to investigating, to do some research about the early childhood development. And I found that there is a lot of information in the internet, and a lot of books, and a lot of many ways to find it. But the thing here is that we have to read a lot. And when we have the problem with our kids, or with nephews, or with the kids that we are helping, it is not easy when we try to apply this knowledge to these advices, because it's like training. If you have a trainer and he gives you a plan for your training in the month, even though if you have a plan, it is not easy to follow the plan. It is not every day the plan is going to be perfect. Then you have to ask someone to know more than you. And we didn't have at hand people to ask. Then I said to myself, also the working mothers and the working caregivers, that can be parents, can be grandmas, can be aunts, they have the problem that they don't have time to commute with professionals. Then we need the information when we are at home. We need the information when the professionals are not available, and maybe they are not going to answer my phone because I don't know how to handle the upbringing situation. then I think we have to do something, because now that I have done this research and I understand the impact of these first years in kids, we have to do something, not only for parents and caregivers, but also for the life of these children. And that's why Ellie comes up.
Such an interesting and thoughtful business and product. Walk us through a little bit of the experience. So would parents, when they use helKi and your AI assistant, what should they expect? How do they use it? What is that user experience around?
Yes, we have two models now, because the artificial intelligence have to learn of the information that we are recollecting right now. Then we have the two ways, Ellie, that is not EllieBot yet, and EllieBot. The expectation is that we profile parents and caregivers and evaluate children. Then we know about the situation of the family. We don't know the personal information, the sensible information, because we don't need it. We need more about if the parents live together, if they have contact every day with the kids, how many hours a day they are having quality play time with the kids, etc. Then we can give that advices and that accompaniment with professional information, and they make questions about how they can behave, how they can help their children to confront their emotions. But because we profile them and we know everything about the family, we can make a development plan for the children. And each day we give them one little tip that is information that is very particular for the evolution and the age of their children. Then they don't need to read a lot of books or a lot of blogs. They only have to read this daily, and the activities, both of them each day they are applying it. But as I said before, it is not easy to apply the advices. Then because of this information that we provide, they have more questions and they ask, okay, I have seen this tip, but I don't understand something, or my kid is not reaching this goal, as you said. Is that good or is bad? And then we help them to answer that questions, or to help them to improve the quality time, to improve the relationship among them. And I think this is something that the parents are needing every day, and that is that they can expect, some help that is going to be there every day with them.
Yeah. Question around the availability globally. This product obviously is available in Mexico.
Yes.
Do you imagine, or is it available in other languages in other countries? And what does that look like?
Yeah, right now we have customers in Argentina, Colombia, Mexico, and United States. But it is only in Spanish right now, and all our customers are Spanish speakers. And we plan to have it in English, but in the future. Right now, we are planning to provide a very good quality service for the Spanish people, because many of the chat that exists today and the chatbots that exist today exist in the English platforms. Then it is harder to do it in Spanish, and that's why we are doing it in Spanish, because the Latin population doesn't have that kind of platforms, and that's why we're doing it. In the United States, for sure, we are going to find, and that is our plan, to reach United States and Latin and Mexico. And for United States, we are starting with the population speaking in Spanish, but we plan to do it with the English American speakers in the future.
Very good. And in addition to that question, this is so interesting. Essentially an AI tool to really help families continue to live in the way that they want to, and efficiently and communicating. What does that look like let's go out 3 to 5 years, what do you imagine helKi and your AI tool, and then what else is there available? What does this look like in 3 to 5 years?
Okay, I will tell you that in 3 or 5 years, we want to reach 6 million of children around United States, Mexico, and Latin America. But in more years, because we have a vision a very, very long time, we want to have something like Siri or something like Alexa, that they have some device that they can ask something about upbringing, any information, and they are going to have it. Right now, this is only a dream, but we think that we can do many things because we use data science and artificial intelligence. Then these platforms are very flexible, but always for us is very important the ethics, always using the ethics as platform and take decisions about the ethics and how the information is going to be more supportive, but always using the best algorithms to help people and to avoid the bias. And there is a lot of things that we can work on this, and we want to reach 6 million of children in the future. Then our plan is in 6 years, but we will see. Maybe we can do it sooner.
Oh, I think you can. I think you can. Yes. You mentioned an important aspect, though. We're clearly seeing challenges on a world scale with biases and racism and challenges of that nature. And when you have an AI system that has been built by humans, there's going to be some bias. So what is your approach to balancing and hopefully, can you remove the bias? I'm not sure, but talk to us a little bit about that and how people should expect this tool to help them, but also hopefully correct the challenges that we're facing today.
Yes, this is a very good topic. And also we are working with the BF in Spanish, but I don't remember the name in English, Banco Interamericano, where we are working about the ethics, and the bias is something that, because we have learned and we have a lot of paradigms, it is hard to avoid that kind of bias. But we have to work and to have the less bias as we can, and many things we can do about it. One of them is to have intention. That is the first one. I think if we have in our mind and we have in our principles as a company, that is a very good start. Because if we don't have that as a principle and we don't have it as a root in their company, is going to disappear through the time. The second one is to have a community and to have the support network that we need. We cannot do it alone. We need many professionals to talk about, to work on this. Professionals that they speak about the language, the gender, the inequity in many things, the races. Then we have experts, and we have to have a console, internal console that is with these profiles that is going to how do you say, to prove, to prove or to test that is the less bias as possible. And we need a team. We need a very strong and prepared team to do it with us. And this has a cost for sure, but that's why we are saying maybe if we want to go fast, and maybe we can reach sooner the 6 million, but we don't want to reach 6 million without ethics, then want to do it well, because the thing that we are doing is with a big risk, because we are talking about people, we are talking about kids. The education is a big risk. Then we have to be very conscious, and we have to be very strong in this position, because to reach people only to have a KPI is very tentacious, but we have to be very strong that we want first to have an ethic, artificial intelligence, and also at the same time to have more customers.
I'm so glad to hear that. And I think that is an absolute, like, that is important as you continue forward to be able to say that and also follow through with that. My next question is around advice, and I'm gonna take this direction with it. You're building a really amazing company and product in a space that can be challenging and difficult, especially for trust and ethics and all that. What would be your advice to entrepreneurs that not only are just getting started, but tackling or really trying to go towards a very difficult problem and trying to solve that with new technology? What is your advice to people that would go about trying to do that as you have?
Yes, I think the first one is to have a principle. You have in your entrepreneurship to have principles. These principles is going to give you the vision, is going to make you take the best decisions. Also, as helKi, we had some weeks ago a tough decision, and we didn't know what to do. Then we remind our principles, and that was very obvious at the end what decision we had to take, because the principles gives you the direction and how we are going, what is important for us and what is the base of everything. And I think this is the first thing that we as founders have to do. And maybe it's hard because at the beginning we don't know even though what we are going to do, but in the way, tag as many people as you can and inform yourself with information, with bad news, because the bad news is going to tell you what is the way you shouldn't go. Not only the good news, because the good news sometimes is only a shadow that you cannot see what is behind that. Many good news that were 1 year ago now are a bad news. People that were very successful with a lot of money, with a lot of fame, but now we cannot be proud of that news because behind that was not so good at all. Then we have to be very careful about the news. We have to understand that not all the symbolism that we can see in the news or in the newspaper or whatever you check in the social networks, many of them is only a cloud without the vision that is very inside of it. Then when you start working with that and you start with your co-workers, with your team, with your partners, then start working on your principles. Your principles is going to give you, I don't know, I don't remember the word in English, but it's timon in Spanish. I don't know if you word the word in English. I don't know if my partner can help me with that. But it's going to give you the vision, the vision that you don't go out or you don't miss the vision, because the principle is the way that we want to do it. And sometimes we get lost because there are a lot of information around us and we get lost. Then the principles is a very good way to start.
I like that. I'll even say a slightly different word in the same direction as what we say is core values. And with Founders Live, the core values are really important, that give the foundation of your, not only your company, but the foundation of the process of why you're building what you're building, and then the company, and especially as it grows larger, more people in a larger team, you have the principles or the core values that you can stand on to make those decisions. And so I like how you said that.
Yes.
Well, Irene, this is
my sister said it's whale. Sorry, the whale. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Irene, this has been such a great conversation, and I really appreciate you spending the time with us. You are a finalist for the Founders Live Primetime series. We had 5 events. You won the Founders Live Primetime Latin America event that happened this fall, and now you go on to join us at, Founders Livefest 2020, which is December 2nd. How excited are you about that?
Very excited. You don't know how much excited I am. So excited because I think this is a very good opportunity to reach with people that without this circumstance, I'm not going to reach. And I want to meet this nice and incredible entrepreneur. I want to learn from them. And also, I think to meet you, Nick, I will tell you that some months ago, I think 1 year ago, I was thinking about Founders Life here in Guadalajara. And I knew that many people here make their pitches there. And I said, oh my God, that was very nice. I thought, I will never won. I thought that. But, when we prepare ourselves and we dream, and I remember that I said, I want to be there. And I never thought I was going to meet you. And I feel so good. Thank you. Because also you are so very nice and you are very prepared and you give us all the information we need in time. And you are helping us. And I'm learning a lot about this experience. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to give voice to my entrepreneurship around the globe. And that's very nice. Thank you. I'm already a winner. I can tell you, I'm already a winner. I feel like that.
Well, see, there you go. You're figuring it out. And that is exactly why we created Founders Live. That is exactly why we created, this prime time, is to really connect people and create opportunities. And that's what we do here. And so, Irene, I just want to thank you so much. Appreciate the conversation. This has been great. So for everyone, definitely check out helki.org. That's the website. And can they find you on social media as well? Where can they go for that?
Yes, in Facebook, it is a little hard. It's QUIZ. That is my nickname. Or in helki.org in Facebook. Okay. Then you are going to link me there because I have a strange nickname in Facebook.
Well, good. Everyone check that out. And if you're listening as well, we'll make sure we put this in the episode page as well. So Irene, I want to thank you so much. This has been a great conversation. Founders Live conversations, we have these frequently, and these are the special sessions that we're having with all of our finalists for this year. So for everyone, make sure that you get your ticket for Founders Livefest 2020. It's on that's a Wednesday, December 2nd. And if you're listening to this afterwards, make sure you go to Founders Live to check out all the information and the results and everything of that nature. And so for everyone, this is Nick Hughes. I'm the CEO of Founders Live. And everyone just stay healthy and stay safe.